Tonight, the search continues for a real estate agent who disappears after showing a home for sale. Thanks for joining us. I'm Denise Middleton.
And I'm Craig O'Neill, and Dawn is off. 49-year-old Beverly Carter was last seen last night just before 6 o'clock. TSP 11's Astrid Solorzano spoke with her husband, who filed a missing persons report after she didn't come home. Astrid?
Craig and Denise, police are still searching for clues. As of right now, no one knows where Beverly Carter's whereabouts are. Beverly told her husband, Carl, she was going to show different properties last night. Friends and family say they're praying, hoping she comes home. A family torn.
I wish they would let her come home.
After Beverly Carter didn't come home to her family in Scott last night.
I don't care if it's on the stop sign.
The Carter family says they hope investigators find answers.
We'll walk away and they'll never hear from me again.
Carl Carter filed a missing persons report with the Pulaski County Sheriff's Department Thursday night. His wife, a real estate agent, was showing a property listing Thursday evening. She didn't come home after that.
Don't sound like Mom. I said, no, sir, it doesn't.
This is the home where Beverly Carter was last seen. Her purse and her wallet were left in her car in the driveway. Something her husband says is quite unlike her.
I knew that something was wrong.
Pulaski County Sheriff's Department searched the property. No trace of Beverly and no evidence of a crime. But late Thursday night, Carl got a text from his wife. He says he didn't sound like her at all.
The text says, oh, I'm out drinking with some friends. Beverly's not a drinker.
Carl says no matter what, he wants her to come home.
We just want our mom back.
Deputies had a helicopter canvass the area earlier today, searching for the area for clues. They encourage anyone who has information to call Pulaski County Sheriff's Department.
More than 24 hours have passed since real estate agent Beverly Carter mysteriously vanished, and tonight the North Little Rock community held a vigil in her honor. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Craig O'Neill. TSP 11's Macy Jenkins was there and joins us now with more details. Macy.
Well, Craig, friends and family gather outside of Crye-Like's real estate tonight, saddened by the disappearance of 49-year-old Beverly Carter. Her husband, Carl Carter, reported her missing yesterday. Police say she was supposed to meet someone in Scott at a home on Old River Road. She was there to show a house around 5:30 p.m. Pulaski County Sheriff Doc Holliday says the search will be widespread.
We'll go wherever we need to go as information is developed, as suspects are developed, as if we need to go out of state, out of wherever, we will go where we need to go to bring her home.
Pulaski County Sheriff's Office is still searching for clues as to what happened. Investigators say tonight they believe she disappeared from the home. Yesterday, after 3.5 hours of no contact, her husband went to the home and found his wife's car and her purse and wallet inside. She was nowhere to be found. Holliday says there are a lot of places to look and so many unknowns. Beverly Carter was last seen wearing a black sleeveless shirt and red shorts. Flyers circulating say Carter stands around 5 feet 2 inches and weighs 145 pounds. She has blonde hair and green eyes. Volunteers and officers will be searching on Faulkner Lake Road tomorrow, starting at 9 a.m.
Continuing coverage now as investigators are still searching for missing real estate agent Beverly Carter. More than 250 volunteers helped with the search today. THV 11's Astrid Solorzano spoke to family, friends, and investigators who say any bit of information is helpful.
Denise, it's the second day they've been searching for Carter. Pulaski County Sheriff deputies have divided the volunteers into 3 different groups, spreading them across a 5-mile radius. Those I spoke with say at this point in time, constant prayers is what's keeping them moving forward.
My expectation is to find Beverly and find her okay.
Nerves are running high.
Time is of the essence.
For those looking for missing real estate agent Beverly Carter.
Group 1 is going to Old River Road. Group 2 is going to I-30 and 161.
About 200 people signed in, split up, and searched for the 51-year-old mother of 3.
Oh, it's just so sad.
Most volunteers searched by foot, through and between backyards. Others on 4-wheelers, hoping to find any trace leading investigators to Carter. Carter works at Crye-Like Realtors in North Little Rock. She disappeared Wednesday evening after showing an unknown person a property listing. After that, she didn't come home. People who knew Beverly say they couldn't help but to come out.
I think she would be out here for me.
Some of the clients she helped throughout the year say her disappearance is surreal.
That a person can't safely go show a house.
Deputies received dozens of requests from search crews to check on items that could possibly lead to clues.
It's a vast amount of acreage. It's a lot of farmland, swamp, there's a lot of waterways.
Carter's coworkers hope any detail can lead to developments.
If there was anything that Beverly may have left behind, if by chance the window was down and she could throw something out.
Brenda Rhodes works with Carter. She says people question why she didn't take someone with her.
You can't always do that. It's not feasible. You can tell someone where you're going. You can tell them what time you should be home, and there's nothing wrong with that.
The volunteers and deputies work till sundown tonight and are expected to show up bright and early tomorrow at 9 in the morning.
Authorities naming a person of interest and an arrest warrant has been issued in the case of missing realtor Beverly Carter. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Phil Buck. Deputies say that they are now searching for 33-year-old Aaron Lewis in connection with Carter's disappearance. They say that they consider him to be dangerous. THV 11's Dan Grossman has been following this story tonight. Dan, what do we know right now?
Phil, the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office says they had already named Lewis a person of interest in this case, but that escalated after he was involved in a car wreck earlier today. Police took this photo shortly after the wreck at the scene, and at the time they did not have an arrest warrant for Lewis, so they could not take him into custody. Now Lewis went to Baptist Hospital in Little Rock shortly after, but left before a judge issued that warrant at 4:37 this afternoon. Authorities say likely to elude investigators. Deputies talked about knowing they had Lewis in their sights.
Well, they feel frustrated that he left. You know, obviously it's not something we can control. If somebody's not under arrest, if you go into a hospital, there's certain requirements. We're just not allowed to go back there. But yeah, it is frustrating to have known that you knew where he was and you just didn't have a arrest warrant for him at that time.
And now Lewis has been out on parole since last August for an undisclosed crime, and police say they do consider him dangerous. They do not know where he is, but are investigating leads that include searching around his home in Jacksonville. And while police and sheriff's deputies will continue to develop those leads, hundreds of volunteers spent their time today searching for Carter. They covered miles of territory, hoping to find something to help explain where she is.
If this was my family that was involved in an incident like this, I would hope and pray that others came out to help me as we're trying to help them.
When fate looks grim, hope can be fleeting.
We're sitting at home and we're just worried, sick, and we feel so helpless.
But judging by the attitudes in Scott, fate is looking anything but.
We're very optimistic.
I think we all are optimistic. I mean, and that's why we're out here.
More than 100 volunteers roaming tall grass looking for evidence to try and tie together a paper trail, searching for anything to help authorities and family locate Carter.
I just was looking at some folks that just drove here from Tennessee. They're fixing to go get chiggers and ticks and crawl in the mud to look for Beverly.
From Nashville, to be exact, with groups traveling from all over Arkansas to find a woman some don't even know.
It's a huge reminder that there's so much good in the world despite whatever bad thing may have happened to her.
Despite the tragedy, Carter's son Carl Jr. is holding on to hope as well, making and distributing these t-shirts to not only show strength, but raise awareness.
You're either optimistic or you have nothing. You lose everything. You lose all hope and your mind goes to very dark places, and I refuse to let the dark places win.
And by the look and tone of the thousands that have helped over the last 3 days, they're not letting the dark places win either.
My mom was my first friend. She's still my best friend. I just really want her back.
And the important thing to note is that people are optimistic, and this lead on Lewis is clearly a big step. Lots more to come in the coming days, and we'll make sure to keep you up to date with the very latest. Phil.
Dan Grossman reporting tonight. Thank you. We will be sure to follow that story, as he said, as it continues to develop.
Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us today. I'm Elise Seedy. Developing news in the disappearance of real estate agent Beverly Carter. Kidnapping suspect Aaron Lewis is now in custody. That's all according to Lieutenant Carl Minden with the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office. Here's a picture of Lewis being arrested a little over an hour ago. A viewer, Ben Boyette, sent that picture to us. Lewis was reportedly found here at Pleasant Point Apartments on Green Mountain Drive in Little Rock. THV 11 continuing to follow this story. Dan Grossman joins us live from the Little Rock Police Department. Macy Jenkins is live in Scott, where the search for Carter continues. But Dan, we begin with you this noon hour.
Elise, good afternoon. As we said, Aaron Lewis was apprehended at around 10 a.m. at 1602 Green Mountain Drive. That's in West Little Rock, right near the Pleasant Point apartment complex. We just actually got done talking to Sheriff Doc Holliday here at the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office, and he said that when they spotted Lewis, they got a call from a man who was in the area, and then when they spotted Lewis, they went to chase him, but he fled, actually jumping out of a second-story window. That's when they did apprehend him. They got him here at the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office about 20 minutes ago and have been questioning him since. Now, we've been mentioning that Lewis has an extensive criminal history, much of it nonviolent crimes, but they do include crimes that happen in Kansas City, Missouri, and then also over in Utah. But right now, he has been serving a 6-year sentence. Well, he had a 6-year sentence for theft of property in Northwest Arkansas. He got let off after 3 years of the sentence because of good behavior. And the sheriff said that he's been doing everything correctly. The only thing that he did once was he didn't check in on time. But right now, he is facing kidnapping charges. They say those could change as they get more information in this investigation. Still, lots of new details leaking out. But they said he will be coming out of this door right here in front of the investigations unit at the sheriff's office. Will be here for that to answer any questions and also give you the very latest information. But right now, reporting live in Little Rock, Dan Grossman, THV 11 News.
All right, Dan, thanks a lot. Macy Jenkins joins us now live from the Search Command post in Scott, where police and volunteers say they're still looking for Beverly Carter. Macy, what is the scene like there today?
Elise, it's day three of that organized search for Beverly Carter. I'm out here across from the Stone Links Golf Course in North Little Rock. Now, her family and friends have set up search headquarters, and I was here just a little over an hour ago when they broke that news that there was a suspect in custody, Aaron Lewis. Now, I spoke with Carter's husband, Carl Carter, earlier, and he told me that he's very hopeful that police will get more information from him.
But I really just pray that he'll tell us what we need to know in order to us to go get Beverly. And I really mean it from my heart. I appreciate everybody that's doing everything they can.
Now, Mr. Carter is joined by his sons and friends, and search coordinator David Goldstein says nothing has changed out here. He still has 2 teams in the field searching for any signs of Carter. She was kidnapped Thursday night after meeting someone to show a home, and law enforcement from 4 different counties have shown up to assist: Clark, Logan, Van Buren, and Grant. And Goldstein is hopeful for any information that Lewis may give to police that may lead them one step closer to Carter. Reporting live in North Little Rock, Macy Jenkins, THV 11 News.
All right, Macy, thanks a lot. You can find up-to-date information on this story by visiting our website, thv11.com. We'll check in again with Dan Grossman on the investigation coming up.
We begin tonight with team coverage as the search for a missing real estate agent continues in Arkansas. Good evening and thank you for watching. I'm Dawn Scott. And I'm Denise Middleton. The man police believe is responsible for the disappearance of Beverly Carter is in custody. THV 11's Macy Jenkins is in Scott, Arkansas tonight as the search continues for Carter. And Dan Grossman is in Little Rock covering the investigation into Aaron Lewis. And THV 11's Phil Buck is in West Little Rock where Lewis was captured this morning. And Phil, how were police able to track him down?
Well, it was not one, but a handful of alert people who spotted and recognized Lewis earlier this morning from that picture that was released by authorities last night. And then they acted quickly, saying that they did not want him to get away for the second time in as many days.
911. Hey, I'm sitting over here. They're looking for a guy here that was involved in the realtor being kidnapped. And this guy looks like him. And he is nervous, and he's out here at the bus stop.
The call came in just before 9:45 Monday morning when multiple people spotted Lewis near the Green Mountain Plaza in West Little Rock.
All right, we'll get someone out there. Okay, now I had a guy walk out there and talk to him. I just went out there to see, and he says they think it's him.
Everybody started looking, so I walked outside and asked the gentleman. I said, hey, what time's the bus run? Because he was kind of walking around the bus stop, and he said, I think in about 30 minutes. I said, okay, I appreciate it. And I walked back inside and, I said, if you haven't called 911, do so. That's him. And we all just kind of watched him kind of mingle around the parking lot of the shopping center here for a few minutes. And then apparently he got spooked at some point.
That's when, according to police, Lewis ran to the Pleasant Point apartment complex across the street where he burst into the manager's office and jumped out a window before officers caught up with him.
He went into the office, jumped out a second window, and that's when they apprehended him on the ground. But when they apprehended, I was kind of relieved, you know, around here, a bunch of kids playing. So I was relieved after they apprehended him.
Now, Waters, the mortgage broker who actually went outside and spoke face-to-face with Lewis earlier today, said just by sheer coincidence, he's actually worked with Beverly Carter on real estate deals in the past. And I asked him about that connection. We'll tell you what he had to say coming up in our 6:30 broadcast.
All right, Phil, thank you for that update. Well, today, hundreds of volunteers went to Scott to continue the search for Beverly.
Our own Macy Jenkins has been there all day, and she joins us more with the search efforts today. Macy, what's the latest?
Some of the volunteers, guys, have been out here since Saturday searching for anything that would give them an indication of what happened to Beverly Carter.
She's our rock. She's the center of our family, and we just want her back.
Anxiety and frustration surround the Carter family Monday. Beverly Carter's son, Carl Carter Jr., keeping his head high and heart hopeful during the continued search for his mother.
We now have the one guy that knows exactly where she is, and I believe that we will get those answers.
Monday morning, police arrested Aaron Michael Lewis, who they believe kidnapped Carter on Thursday night.
I just want to say to that man, just please give them, the officers, the information they need to know. That's all I can ask him.
But even with Lewis in custody, the search has not slowed down.
Nothing's changed for us. We're looking for Beverly.
Over the last few days of searching, officials say they've had great cooperation from neighbors and homeowners in the area. Altogether, they've searched 20 square miles of land.
4 different counties have sent backup to help with the search, and local volunteers are still searching by horse, foot, and ATV.
If we need to search an area, go somewhere, support them, that's what we're here for.
I hope and pray to God that she's not dead, but I don't know reality, but I'm believing in God that she's going to be all right.
I've been out here all day speaking with the family, waiting for any updates from police. There's no word on what Lewis has to say yet, but the search has expanded to Lonoke County. We'll have more details on that search coming up tonight at 6. Reporting live in North Little Rock, Macy Jenkins, THV 11 News.
All right, Macy, thank you. Lewis has been in custody since he was caught at 10 o'clock this morning.
Deputies at the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office are holding him at their unit for questioning. THV 11's Dan Grossman has been following this investigation closely. And Dan, what can you tell us right now?
Dawn and Denise, he has been here at the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office since just before noon this morning, but the sheriffs aren't releasing any information about that interrogation, saying they want to wait until the interrogation process is over to release any details. But this isn't Aaron Lewis's first run-in with the law.
We will have him here for as long as we need to determine what we can from him.
In 5 hours since Sheriff Doc Holliday spoke those words, 33-year-old Aaron Lewis is still in custody, being questioned for his role in the disappearance of 51-year-old Beverly Carter.
He is an individual facing some very serious charges. We will have to see how cooperative he is as the day progresses.
Right now, those charges are only for kidnapping, but could escalate depending on what investigators find.
Suspects don't always want to cooperate.
And Lewis is a familiar face with law enforcement. He has been arrested multiple times in Arkansas for nonviolent crimes, including once in Missouri and also in Utah for robbery. Before he was arrested Monday morning, Carter was out on parole for a theft crime he committed in 2010. He was sentenced to 6 years in prison, but was released on parole last August for good behavior. But now he's back in the arms of authorities as they work to piece together today information to find Beverly Carter.
The fact is, at this point, we don't know where she is. She could be anywhere, and it's our job to find her, get her back to her family. And now deputies have not given an estimate as to when the questioning and interrogation process will be over. They say it all depends on how cooperative he is. Aaron Lewis is being held on $1 million bond. Reporting live in Little Rock, Dan Grossman, THV 11 News.
All right, Dan, thank you. And here is a look at what has happened since Beverly Carter was first reported missing. Thursday night, September 25th, Beverly's husband, Carl Carter, told deputies he went to a home his wife was showing around 9 p.m. because he'd not heard from her. When he found just her car and her purse at the home, he called police.
Now, Friday, the 26th, Pulaski County deputies shared with the media that crews were searching for Carter. That day, Carter's husband told THV11 he received 3 texts around 1 a.m. saying things like, "My battery died and I'm out drinking with friends." But he told us that's not like Beverly.
Well, Saturday the 27th, more than 250 volunteers helped search for Carter in Scott. They searched areas near Old River Road, Interstate 30, and Highway 161.
Sunday, the search continued for Beverly. Around 6 p.m., deputies issued an arrest warrant for Aaron Michael Lewis on a kidnapping charge.
Well, deputies say he was in a car accident Sunday morning and was taken to Baptist Hospital for treatment. That is where he disappeared. Deputies say Lewis was already a person of interest, but they weren't able to get an arrest warrant until he already left the hospital.
Now, around 10 this morning, Little Rock police arrested Lewis on Green Mountain Drive. Today, crews continue to search for Beverly. You can find this full timeline of events on THV11.com. As the search continues for Beverly Carter, investigators with the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office are hoping Aaron Lewis will lead them to her location.
THV11's Kevin Traeger spoke with the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office tonight. And Kevin, are they getting any information out on this suspect?
Well, Craig, Denise, good evening. They are engaging in back and forth dialogue with Mr. Lewis, but so far he is not providing any information on the location of Beverly Carter. You don't believe he knows exactly where she is right now?
At this point, that is our belief, that he knows.
With the clock ticking, investigators continue interrogating Aaron Lewis, hoping he will answer the question on everyone's mind. Where is Beverly Carter?
You know, we went from, almost, I guess you'd say morning to, it's almost nighttime now, and I don't know when it's going to stop.
Sheriff's Office spokesman Lieutenant Carl Minden answering questions Monday night, telling reporters the interrogation could go on well into the morning.
The main thing we need is to find Beverly, and at this point, we don't have that information. And so until we find Beverly, we're just going to keep going.
Search crews from all over the state were in Scott Monday, and many will be back at sunrise, combing fields and forests, looking for any sign of Carter. Minden says they're still focusing on the southeast part of the county.
That was the location where she was last seen, last known to be. So that was where we kind of hedged our bet on searching.
As for now, there are many more questions than answers as investigators continue working on Lewis for new information.
That's one of the things we're trying to piece together is what is that connection? Why did he pick Miss Carter? We don't know.
And the family is still seeking volunteers to help them out with search efforts. For more information about how you can help, visit our website, thv11.com. Craig, Denise.
Kevin, thank you. On our website, you're also going to find information on how social media has helped in this case.
A Facebook page was created surrounding the effort to find Carter. It's called Find Beverly Carter.
Those assisting in the search are also using the hashtag Find Beverly on both Twitter and Facebook.
Pulaski County deputies say they have found the body of real estate agent Beverly Clark. Good morning. For joining us, I'm Ashley Blackstone. And I'm Elise Seedy. Earlier this morning, deputies say her body was found in a shallow grave on Highway 5 in Pulaski County. Meanwhile, Aaron Lewis sits in the Pulaski County Jail this morning. We're told his kidnapping charges will be upgraded to capital murder. And THV11's Marielle Mose is live from the scene where Carter was found. Marielle, good morning to you. What can you tell us?
Beverly Carter, where is? Good morning, Ashley. Elise, that's right. I'm about 150 yards from where Carter's body was found around 12:30 this morning. Investigators are still out here. However, Carter's body has been moved to the coroner's office for further investigation. The exact cause of how she died has not been determined yet, and that will be determined later by the coroner's office. The building behind me is a privately owned building. However, behind that is Argos Concrete Mixing Company, and that is the property where Carter's body was found in a shallow grave. We are about 35 miles from the house where Carter was first abducted. We're off of Highway 5. We're technically at a Cabot address, but we are within Pulaski County. Investigators have been out here since Friday morning, and like you said, the suspect, Aaron Lewis, was charged with capital murder, and after hours of interrogation yesterday, he admitted to kidnapping Carter. However, he did not lead the investigators to this area. That was a separate tip that we do not know the source of at this time. However, we'll keep you updated with the latest right here from Pulaski County. Reporting live in Pulaski County, Mariel Mose, THV 11 News.
The body of missing realtor Beverly Carter has been found, and suspect Aaron Lewis pleaded not guilty to charges of capital murder. Thanks for joining us this noon hour. I'm Elise Seedy. Carter's body was found just after midnight in a shallow grave in Cabot. We have team coverage at noon as Mariel Mose spoke with those remembering Carter. Meanwhile, Dan Grossman was there as Aaron Lewis was in court this morning. He joins us now with the details. Dan?
Elise, Lewis entered the courtroom at 8:20 this morning, where he pled not guilty to charges. Those charges included kidnapping, capital murder, 4 counts of weapons possession, and then also the kidnapping charge that I had mentioned. And while he did plead not guilty, it's a much different story than what he told us earlier in the day. Please note that the first audio clip is a little distorted. Two very different statements coming from suspected murderer Aaron Lewis in the case of missing realtor Beverly Carter. This one coming when he was first transferred to the county jail at 6:40 this morning.
Carter? No. Did not? No.
Do you have anything to say?
I had a co-defendant. I haven't seen her for 2 days. Now they're showing me pictures of this. I haven't seen her.
And this one only moments after pleading not guilty in court 2 hours later.
You pled not guilty. Why?
Because that's what my lawyer said to do.
Did you originally in the courtroom say you wanted to just get it over with, that you had pled, that you wanted to plead guilty?
Yeah.
Why?
I just want this all over with.
You would even be willing to plead guilty to the capital murder charges?
So did your lawyer basically encourage you to...
It all happened.
What was that?
I'm just sorry it all happened. I just want it all over with.
Lewis faces 4 charges ranging from capital murder to kidnapping, robbery, and possession of firearms. That carries sentences ranging from life in prison to the death penalty.
Those are his words. I can't comment about the facts of the case.
Chief Prosecutor John Johnson quick to put a cap on any elaboration, saying the facts of the case cannot be discussed, including whether or not prosecutors will seek the death penalty. Will you pursue death penalty?
I can't comment about the strength of the case. It's an ethical prohibition that prosecutors have.
In the meantime, Lewis will sit in jail as he waits for his trial. And now Lewis will be held without bond while prosecutors have 90 days to build their case. And now coming up at 2 o'clock, we will carry a live press conference here at the sheriff's office where deputies will go more in detail about Beverly Carter's disappearance and then also the details surrounding her death. Live in Little Rock, Dan Grossman, THV 11 News.
You family and friends saying goodbye to Beverly Carter tonight. You'll recall the Central Arkansas real estate agent was kidnapped and killed last week after she disappeared while showing a home in Scott.
THV 11's Marlisa Goldsmith is live outside the church where the visitation is being held right now. Marlisa?
Greg, for many people, they are here for the very last time that they will ever get to see Beverly Carter. Visitation got underway just about an hour ago here at the First Pentecostal Church in North Little Rock, and we reached out to the Carter family. However, they just aren't ready to speak on camera about the death of their loved one just yet. And understandably so, this has been a very draining and emotional week for them in dealing with the loss of their loved one. First beginning with her disappearance, which immediately prompted Pulaski County authorities to begin searching. Just 4 days after she was reported missing, police arrested suspect Aaron Lewis in connection to Carter's disappearance. And after nearly 12 hours of interrogation, authorities found Carter's body in a shallow grave on the property of Argos Concrete Company. Now, as Carter's family tries to cope with the reality of Beverly's death, they gather here to remember and honor her life. A visitation lasts until 7 o'clock tonight, and her funeral will be held here at this church tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. For now, reporting live in North Little Rock, Marlisa Goldsmith, THV 11 News.
Marlisa, thank you. Aaron Lewis, the man accused of killing Carter, remains behind bars tonight with no bond.
He's scheduled to be in court on December 1st. A Pulaski County prosecuting attorney told us today deputies are still working on the investigative file that they'll use to decide what formal charges to proceed with.
The estranged wife of suspect Aaron Lewis was arrested late this afternoon. THV 11's Kevin Traeger is following these new developments. He joins us live with the very latest details. Kevin.
Craig, Dawn, good evening. It was just a short while ago we saw investigators bring Crystal Lowry out of this building behind me. She has since been transferred to the Pulaski County Detention Center. She's facing charges of kidnapping and capital murder, the same charges facing her husband, Aaron Lewis, her estranged husband, in the death of real estate agent Beverly Carter. Now, we know that investigators here at the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office interviewed Lowry the same day that they arrested and charged Lewis back a month ago. We spoke with those investigators here earlier today. Here's what they had to say. Did you do it?
She didn't tell us anything at that point that gave us enough evidence to arrest her. You know, through the investigative process, we've managed to obtain enough to get the warrant.
And we do know that Lowry and Lewis have only been married for about 6 months. She actually filed for divorce back on October 17th. According to Lowry's Facebook page, she's originally from Lake Charles, Louisiana, and is currently a nursing student at UALR. We're going to have much more on this story, though, coming up tonight at 10 o'clock. We'll have reaction from neighbors as well. But for now, reporting live in Little Rock, Kevin Traeger, THV 11 News.
All right, thank you, Kevin.
Lowry will make her initial court appearance tomorrow morning.